if all we have is this error correction, and we can never be certain of or anything, and we can never have a foundation for anything, and if fallibilism is the way forward here, then it may give some sort of succor to the postmodernists who say there is nothing, then there is no truth that could that if we can never be sure anything is true, then what is to say that that truth actually exists out there in the world? How do we know there is an objective truth, even if we can never be sure that we have it?
Yes. Part of this is what postmodernists call truth and therefore conclude doesn't exist, indeed doesn't exist. So this is a token of how radical a change Popper wrought on philosophy. The notion of truth in Popper's philosophy is different from that of postmodernism and of all traditional philosophy, where basically knowledge was defined as justified true beliefs. So the critical attack on that, actually Popper attacks all three of those alleged properties of knowledge, but in particular the attack on justification, which is not unique to Popper, forces one to conclude that justified true belief doesn't exist. And if you call that truth, then truth doesn't exist. But this isn't what we call truth in everyday life. What we mean by truth in everyday life is that if somebody tells me the shops are going to shut today because of lockdown, then that is a statement that's capable of being true or false. I can go and see whether the shop is open or shut. Not with perfect reliability, of course. A shop may look open yet be shut, or vice versa. And there's no limit to how misled we can be. But nevertheless, it is meaningful to say that the statement that the shop is open is true if and only if the shop is in fact open. This theory of truth is also not original to Popper. It's in a way the common sense theory of truth, but it was made systematic by the mathematician Tarski, who Popper recounts that he explained it to him while sitting on a park bench in Vienna. Interestingly, Popper says that he had built his philosophy of science initially without ever referring to truth, because he was afraid that critics would say that there is no such thing, or that you can't coherently talk about that sort of thing. And it was only when Tarski explained his theory of truth as correspondence to the facts, and explained to him that this could be made mathematically rigorous as well, using the idea of meta theories, that Popper, with a sense of relief, rewrote his stuff so as to actually speak about theories being true. Of course, no theory that we can actually utter is going to be exactly true. So the notion of truth in Popper's philosophy has a slightly different role. When he says we are seeking the truth, he means we are seeking to correct errors. But when we correct errors, there are always other errors left that we haven't noticed, and also new errors introduced by our removing the old error. So we're seeking the truth means we're seeking to correct error. But by that very fact, truth is a fundamental sort of regulating principle in the theory of knowledge, according to Popper. not because we can obtain absolutely true propositions, but because there is a meaning to something being true or false.